Hello and welcome, my Firearm Freedom YouTube family. I'm excited to be back here live for you guys. This should be a rather hopefully, topic that we're going to be touching on today, and that topic is whether or not you should be buying or building your rifle here when it comes to 2020, mainly talking about ARs. As I'm sure you guys could imagine, I get this question a ton in the gun shop that I work at full time pretty much every day. And as a whole, we're also going to be talking about just kind of buying AR-15s in 2020 and as far as being your first rifle, what you should do. I've been getting a ton of questions in the shop. Whereas people may not have the money right now, people are trying to figure out whether or not they should wait due to price gouging and a whole bunch of different questions, and I'm hopefully going to be able to answer that for you guys today. And of course, as always, if you guys have any questions about what I'm talking about, feel free to chime in, ask away, because that is absolutely what these live streams are for. Christian, what is up? KC, what is up? Good to see you, man. Rockford, good to see you too. Freedom reigns in the States. Good to hear from you, Firearm Freedom. Keep up the good work. Thanks for watching my video. Hey, no problem, buddy. Thanks for making it. That was a pretty awesome video. So real quick, guys, as always, we're going to spend the first 5 minutes here just kind of letting everybody get in that's going to get in before we start talking about the meat of the live stream. That always sounds weird when I say it. I don't know if that's the right thing to say. You guys get what I'm talking about. But YouTube constantly this month continues to just demolish my channel when it comes to views, ad revenue, whatever else. It is hit now actually the lowest I have ever gotten, surprisingly, since probably my first year here on YouTube. We are pretty much dead in the water at 22,500 subscribers. It does not really seem to be moving at all for the past month. So with that being said, I say that to tell you guys to always make sure you remember to check and make sure that you're actually still subscribed to my YouTube channel. And if at all possible, if you have not subscribed yet and you're coming across this live stream, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and ring the bell. Really helps me out. I'm sure YouTube will unsubscribe you to my channel, but that's okay. Thank you guys for trying anyways. And as always, I hope that the way downswing of views and subscribers kind of turns itself around next month. It's always very disheartening whenever you're like making videos and you're just watching everything, plummet literally just day by day. So we're going to try to hold strong, keep on carrying on, and hope that maybe it gets a little bit better as the weeks go on. But unfortunately, I think it's always only going to get worse because I have a feeling, I don't have a feeling, I know that YouTube is censoring gun content at the moment moving up to the election. So with that being said, more than likely, it is just continuing to get worse. Now, there are definitely other ways to watch content coming out of Firearm Freedom. Not only do you have the main channel, which is Firearm Freedom here on YouTube, I also have a Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram account that you guys can catch me on doing daily posts, gun pictures, videos, whatever else, stories mainly. Yeah, you guys can see a lot of awesome stuff there. So if you want, or if you're interested in that, check that out. If you want more of a kind of fun, massive, freedom-loving group chat, go ahead and check out the Firearm Freedom Discord. We also have a link to the Discord server. You guys know the links will all be posted after the live stream ends and on any other video on my YouTube channel. Any other recent video on my YouTube channel, you should be able to check out those links. And finally, if you want to support the channel and help try to like combat the YouTube plummeting ad revenue and the fact that we are not a sponsored channel or anything like that, you can buy awesome merchandise, some Firearm Freedom merchandise. We have super cool tri-blend t-shirts, hoodies, bunch of other cool things there, stickers, whatever else you guys like. It's all available over at the Firearm Freedom merchandise store. And then on top of that, we also have the brand new Subscribe Star account. So if you guys would like to check out Subscribe Star, it's still very, very new, but we do have a couple of subscribers now over at Subscribe Star. You pay a monthly donation fee to the channel. There's not a whole bunch of like different content that's not here on YouTube or anywhere else, but I do show you guys a little bit more like behind the scenes stuff. I already posted a behind the scenes picture on what my tabletop bench looks like that I film videos on. If you guys don't already know, maybe you do know, I don't necessarily know if you do or not, but I originally was a certified personal trainer. I've been in the fitness world for like 11 years, doing a bunch of stuff like that. So I'm kind of throwing around in my mind with whether or not I also want to give kind of like some free fitness advice. I don't know if that'd be something you guys are interested in or not over on the Subscribe Star account. I don't know. Let me know. I'm trying to come up with really cool ideas of things to do over at Subscribe Star to give you guys just like a different type of content to thank you for being willing to donate. So I really appreciate that. And again, hopefully we turn it around sometime soon. You guys know what I'm saying? KC, thank you so much for the donation, man. I seriously appreciate that. Rockford, had an awesome range day today. Great way to finish the day off with a kick-ass live stream from you. Rockford, thank you, man. And hey, it is awesome that you had a great range day. That is definitely hard to come by right now with everything in the world today. NFL is kind of overlapping, but I'll stick here like a disease. Love your stuff. Hey, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you for taking time away from your day. Thank all of you for taking the time away from your day to hang out here and chat with your friendly local neighborhood gun tuber. I really appreciate that. So guys, I've been getting the questions a ton, just flowing into the gun shop about ARs, mainly new gun owners, but a lot of the time maybe not. A lot of the time they might have owned guns for a while, and we're kind of in that group of putting off buying an AR, or maybe they had a bunch of AKs and they haven't bought their first AR yet, or they have a bunch of other rifles, they just have not bought an AR. And the big question that I keep getting constantly is, hey, should I build? Should I buy? What should I do? Should I wait until after the election because the prices are getting so bad? What in the heck should I do? I've been getting that a lot. Fitness advice here on the FF channel might be a good way to implement something different than other gun YouTubers don't. I know I'd like to hear some training advice. So KC, I actually, a while back, probably about a year ago now, I started a B channel for Firearm Freedom. Generally, the link is always down in the description, and that B channel is actually called FF Lifestyle. I had a lot more fitness-related content over on that channel. That channel is still live. I have just basically kind of always told you guys that the upload schedule on the FF Lifestyle channel may be a little bit more sporadic, just because I'm always putting a bulk of my energy to Firearm Freedom. So I keep that FF Lifestyle there, so that way if YouTube ever, God forbid, just axes Firearm Freedom completely off the platform entirely, I can just jump right over to the FF Lifestyle channel. So that is really my main goal with FF Lifestyle, is to bring a lot of the subscribers from here over to there, so that any time that they get rid of me or whatever else, I can at least just have an immediate way to let you guys know what's up, what's going on. But FF Lifestyle is not necessarily all gun related. It is much more vlog related, where I just have like some kind of fun stuff we do with the family. Fitness related, I have skateboarding stuff in there, adventure stuff in there. So if you guys are interested in stuff like that, check out FF Lifestyle. Again, the upload schedule is far few and in between when it's compared to the Firearm Freedom channel. I hope you guys can understand that that's kind of the purpose for it, is to put all the energy to Firearm Freedom, but just have kind of like a backup for basically ideas that I get that I don't think would be videos that would go well here on Firearm Freedom. I don't know, maybe they would, maybe they wouldn't, but I think a lot of you guys have grown accustomed to the content that I put out here on Firearm Freedom, and I don't want to totally like change that up, because a lot of the time I feel like maybe a lot of you guys watching be like, no, I don't know, I don't want to watch a vlog. What are you doing? Come on, I want to see a tabletop video or something else. So I try to keep all that on FF Lifestyle. And basically, whenever I get a good idea for a vlog or a fitness related video or something that is not necessarily gun related, I pop it over to the FF Lifestyle channel. So check that out if you're interested in it. I also do have links to the FF Lifestyle channel, generally always down in the description. I'll say check out the B channel and everything else like that. So first and foremost, we will just like kind of get my thoughts right out of the way on the question of should I buy or should I build my first AR in 2020. You know, I'm gonna try not to be a jerk and just be like, well, you should have had your first AR like a year ago. You know, but I gotta get my comment out, you know, for a lot of the newbies out there. Guys, if you have, like, I can't even tell you how many times a year ago I would tell beginners that owned a bunch of guns, but they didn't have an AR, and I would tell them, look, now's the cheapest time to buy. You really, really, really should buy. I can't tell you guys how many buddies I had where I'm like, look, man, I know you've been like asking me about it, trying to figure out what to do. You really should buy now because the prices will never be cheaper. And all those people will kind of be like, you know, I'll wait, you know, the prices will get better or whatever else. You know, I don't want to say I told you so, but guys, in the future, if you have good friends that are in the industry, or if you go into gun shops and they're not just trying to sell you something, you may want to listen if you have money to spend, but you keep trying to hold off buying your first AR because unfortunately, this market goes, or this industry goes from like stores are going out of business to the most volatile prices in the world out of everything in like a week. So, you know, it can fluctuate really bad. That's why you see kind of like seasoned gun owners, collectors, shooters, YouTubers, whatever else, like hoarding and collecting everything. It's generally because they've been through a panic buy phase before. And if you've been through it before, you kind of hoard everything up, you know, and everything like that. So just kind of keep your eyes open for that in the future because that will really help you out. But that is not the point of this live stream. The point is to help you guys out that have not bought anything yet and you don't know what to do. You understand you should have bought it before, but now here we are. What the heck do we do? So the reality of it is it's going to be a difficult time for you to buy your first AR. It just is. There's a couple different routes you could take. First, the one route you could take is building, right? You want to build. That may work for some people, may not work for others. Where would building help some people out? A lot of people don't know this, but you can really easily build your first AR-15. With that being said, I say build lightly. It's basically assembling. You're pretty much just buying the parts and the pieces, slapping it together, and you can really accomplish most of it with an armorer's wrench, a punch set, and what'll really help you out is a vise, but even then, you don't necessarily need that for almost everything but the upper. So there's a lot of things on your AR that you can build, you can piece together, and this really I would see as being worth it for somebody that absolutely does not have the money right now to buy an AR-15 at all. You don't even have a couple $100s to spend, so you want to piece it together. I actually had this situation with a couple of customers where they came in, they're like, look, I know I really dropped the ball on this. I know I waited too long, but the reality of it is you know, we have bills right now. I just don't have the money to spend, and I'm getting very, very nervous because I know election season's coming up. We're in election season, but I know the election itself is coming up, and I know the prices are going to get even worse, and I don't know what to do. That would be a person that I would recommend building to, and the reason why is because most of these people don't know or don't understand that really the only thing you need the 4473 for is the lower receiver. Now, lower receivers are getting incredibly hard to find and incredibly hard to come by right now for cheap and inexpensive lower receivers, but you can still find them. So if you're in a shop, if you have no money to spend whatsoever, try to see if you could find a $40 or $50 lower receiver. A lot of these folks don't realize that every other part other than the lower receiver, you can get shipped right to your house, build it out as you have time to, as you have money or whatever else. So that's an option. What are the downfalls to building your first AR-15? You're not going to have warranty repair. It's just not going to be an option because you built it. So if you start running into major issues, if you built it wrong, if you were having a buddy help you out, he didn't know what he was doing, they built it wrong, you're kind of SOL in trying to diagnose your own problems. And chances are, if you've never shot an AR-15, if you've never bought an AR-15, if you've never owned one, you are probably not going to have the best time at coming up with armoring fixes to your AR when you're having issues. A lot of these fixes are very minor and very cheap, but a lot of the times people don't know they have to pay for gunsmith labor and so on. So that would be a main downfall. Another downfall about building an AR right now in 2020 is there are many pieces that you are just not going to be able to find. At the moment, bolt carrier groups and barrels seem to be one of the most hardest pieces to come by when it comes to building an AR or even buying replacement parts for your AR. So the reality of it is you're going to come across a lot of pieces that are almost just as hard to find as the rifles themselves complete. But with that being said, you could still find them, and when you do find them, it's a lot easier for some of these folks that don't have the money to wait at the computer and hit refresh on a part that's $120 versus wait at the computer, hit refresh on a rifle that's $1,000. So that would be the time that I would recommend potentially buying. You could even come across, 4 or 5 lower receivers that maybe you have the money for 4 or 5 of those lower receivers totaling $300 or whatever else, but you don't have money for a whole rifle. With that being said, I would put aside those lower receivers so that way you have at least the gun part that you can put to the side and you can build at a later date. That's a big deal, and that can really help you out as time goes on. I'd buy my first one, learn the mechanics, functionality, then starting to upgrade it bit by bit, learning how everything works combined. You know what I mean. Harry, absolutely. Harry, what would be the upgrades you'd recommend? I upgraded my trigger, but haven't done anything since besides an Opticus sling. Jack, thank you, man. Jack, if you were saying good advice to Harry too, he did have some good advice there. So to whatever one, thank you. So on the opposite end of the coin, where do you buy your AR right now? What do you do? What do you want to buy? Whatever. My first advice to these folks would be beware of gun shows, auctions, and gun shops that are price gouging right now. And that unfortunately that takes up those three take up a bulk of where you can purchase firearms right now. Unfortunately, most gun shops are going to be price gouging. And then, most gun shows, not going to be good. Most auctions, not going to be good. When I say auctions, I'm generally meaning gun broker, different things like that. And you can lump Arms List in there as well as far as used guns on Arms List. If you don't know what Arms List is, it's basically a Craigslist for guns. And there's a bunch of really bad deals on there as well. Where I would advise you to buy your complete rifle at this point in time would be to try to find a gun shop that is not price gouging right now. There's many shops out there that they might have a rifle on the wall. It's going to go really, really quick, but that rifle is the same price that it would have been a year ago. It's the same price, and I'll tell you what: 2 months from now, when we're hitting the heart of the election, that rifle is going to be the same price. It may or may not still be there. It may or may not leave in a minute, in an hour, in 20 minutes, but that rifle is going to be the same price. So ideally, being able to find that non-price gouged rifle is probably going to be the best case scenario. And I can tell you guys, this is not going to be the time that you're going to be able to get picky about what AR you're going to buy. It's just not. If you don't have anything and you're trying to find something right now, there's a couple of guidelines to go by. The first, and you're not going to find this, but if you find, say, a Ruger AR-556 or an M&P 15 Sport 2 at $499, you're not going to find this. Sorry to burst your bubble. You're just not. But if you were going to buy that and find it, that's not a bad buy at all. The reality of it is, though, that a lot of these base rifles that are great rifles, they're extremely solid for the money, are no longer solid for the money that they are being that people are being charged to buy them. You're seeing these rifles go for $1,000, $1,100. These prices are insane, in my opinion, and these would reflect places that are price gouging on their rifles. So with that being said, if you are willing to spend $1,000, $1,100, and so on, it actually might be worth it to you to just buy a higher end rifle. It may just be worth it to do that. Simply because if you're already willing to spend $700 on a base rifle, you might as well tack on an extra $300 and buy something that's going to be kind of mid to high level. So that is really what I would recommend. On top of that, many people don't realize that a lot of these gun shops have layaway available in their shops. So that means you put maybe 20 to 30% down on a firearm. You know, a lot of these shops, it's not like a catch, like a big box chain where you got to use their credit card or something like that. You just put the money down and you get 25, 30, maybe even 60 days to pay it off. This can really benefit a lot of people. A lot of people don't know this. Maybe you don't have $1,000 right now, but you might have $1,000 over the next 60 days that you can put down on that rifle. And that can really help you out in just at least securing your rifle, making sure it doesn't sell, and just getting the money out piece by piece. A lot of the time, the big benefit with this is it's not like a credit card where you're taking a big hit on your credit score or something like that, or getting into debt if you can't afford it. Ultimately, if you can't afford it, generally speaking, there's a restocking fee, and some places will give you your money back. Other places will give it back to you in store credit. But the reality of it is, minus a small hit, generally you get your money back if you can't afford it. So there's a bunch of benefits here, basically. I just want to catch up on your comments here. Sorry, guys. I bought a Sig Sauer Rattler a few years ago. First, I upgraded to Geisley trigger group, then handle, front grip, suppressor, etc., etc. Trigger, I always start first. I would agree, Harry. A trigger is a great place to start. Armsless is great. I bought a Glock 19 brand new for $250. The guy said he could only ship me the gun. It's already been 3 months, so it should come any day now. Yeah, Casey, that's a great point, buddy. For those of you guys that don't know, as well, for a side point on handguns actually have to legally ship second day air, if I'm not mistaken, in all 50 states. So there's nothing that should be taking 3 months. Local mom and pop shop in my town has 14 cases of 9mm at $50 a box for 50 of Target. He's had them 14 cases now for a couple of weeks. Now that's price gouging. Yeah, and a lot of these places, guys, like what people don't realize when they're running these gun shops, they have a decision to make. They basically can make the decision, do we because nobody can keep inventory in stock, right? Nobody can keep inventory in stock, and shop owners are starting to be like, oh man, we don't have anything to sell. What are we going to do to keep this inventory in stock so we have choices for our customers? You can go one of two options. You can limit quantities, mainly ammunition, but you can limit quantities of ammunition that people can buy and not price gouge, or you can jack up the prices and price gouge and hopefully keep the inventory that way. Shops don't seem to realize that by price gouging, you might keep the inventory, but it's going to stay forever because nobody's going to buy it. And on top of that, you're going to lose a lot of your long-term customers because they're going to understand that you're price gouging, and that's just not cool from a business owner. We know what that means. We know you're greedy for the money, and it's just ridiculous. It's not the proper way to do things, and I don't agree with it at all. I would much rather see a shop say, hey, we got this ammunition in at a really reasonable price point, but we got to limit you to 1 box a day because if we don't, it's going to be gone. I'd much rather see that, and at least I can say, well, I get it. I'll grab my 1 box. I'll get my 1 box of ammo, and that's it. And that's it. So I'd much rather see that. And if it goes in a day with a 1 box limit, it goes in a day. But at least a lot of people have a chance to buy it, and I can go back, the next day, try again, whatever else. But to see people charging $50 a box for 50 of 9mm ammo is just insane. Which leads us to our next point when it comes to buying your AR, buying your first AR. Caliber choice. This is a big deal. First and foremost, what would I, oh my God, not buy right now as far as calibers? I would, oh my God, not buy a 300 Blackout. Buying a 300 Blackout is a death wish when it comes to wanting to shoot your rifle at all or buy a box of ammunition to even load it with in a defensive situation. I'm sorry, but 300 Blackout, I have never in my life seen prices this high for 300 Blackout and availability this bad for 300 Blackout. Chances are you're going to come across one box of supersonic ammunition for like $30, a box of 20 for like $30 in your local gun shop. This far exceeds how bad it is to find 5.56 or 223 right now. So if you don't own any AR-15s right now and you don't reload, and that means you don't have any reloading equipment, you don't have any powder, brass, primers, bullets, whatever else, you have nothing, now would be probably the worst time ever to buy a 300 Blackout. So chances are you might walk into a gun shop and there's other people that know this, and there may be an AR sitting on the wall and you're scratching your head like every other rifle is gone. Why would there be an AR on the wall? And the reality of it is it is probably a 300 Blackout, and more than likely, a lot of people are looking at that saying, I'm not going to buy that because I'm not going to be able to shoot it. Now, guys, once again, this is by no means trying to say that 300 Blackout is a bad caliber. I have a 300 Blackout AR myself. I absolutely love it. It's a great gun, and I can't get enough of it. It's super quiet to run suppressed. But I have not shot my 300 Blackout in a couple of months, and I don't have any plans on shooting that for the next like year. The ammo is unobtainium for that 300 Blackout. So, I don't know. The reality of what it is right now is, as far as calibers, if you don't own anything, do not buy that. Do not buy that. I know they cost more, but 300 Black is the best silence. Oh, dude, don't get me wrong. Again, 300 Blackout is an incredibly high-performing round when it comes to shooting suppressed. But the true unobtainium caliber right now is subsonic 300 Blackout. It is unobtainium. It's ridiculous. So I would just be aware of that. I would be aware of that at least for the next little bit. Now, let's get to probably a bulk of what you're going to see, which is 5.56 or 223 ARs. I say 5.56 or 223 because obviously, preaching to the choir here, everybody should already know this, but if it is chambered in 5.56, it can also shoot 223. It's just not the other way around. But with that being said, bulk of the ARs that you're still going to come across out on the market are 5.56 or 223. Generally speaking, the next question that I get asked when people say, hey, I think I might want to buy that, is how's the ammo situation for ARs? Surprisingly, it still blows me away every time I hear this. Some people just have no idea that ammo is scarce to come by right now. They just have no clue. Some people are like, oh, is ammo tough to find today? Or were you guys waiting for a shipment? Or what's going on? So 5.56, 223. It is out there. It is out there. It is not looking good for manufacturers. We've talked about this a bajillion times here on the live stream, but it is out there. You can more than likely come across a box of 223 or 5.56 for maybe $12 a box, 20. Is it anywhere near as good prices were back in the day? Nope, not even a little bit. Is it out there though and somewhat available? Yes. So these are all things to consider. When it comes to buying an AR, you might be able to buy your AR and be able to buy enough ammunition to be good for a defensive situation. But the reality of it is you're not going to be shooting this rifle a lot. You're just not. So that's something to really take into consideration. Moving forward to a caliber that I would highly recommend when it comes to an AR right now is 7.62 by 39. A lot of people, they're not down with 7.62 by 39 ARs. I get it. They're a little bit finicky and weird if you don't build them right. And the mags look really, really weird. They have like a weird curve to them because of 7.62 by 39. But I gotta say, guys, if you are looking to get training with your AR and you don't want to use your AK to get that training, or you don't have an AK because AKs are unobtainium right now, you may be able to buy a 7.62 by 39 complete AR. Or if you buy a lower, you might be able to build a 7.62 by 39 AR. These are options, they are available. And on top of that, mags are also available. You guys got to remember that this panic buying situation goes off what brand new gun owners are buying. A lot of brand new gun owners can't even get the caliber that a standard AR is chambered in. Right, they keep saying it's 5.65 or 5.75 or 5.4446. Like nobody has any idea. So chances are them understanding that they could buy a rifle in 7.62 by 39 that they could actually shoot and afford the ammo to shoot. Most of them don't know, so chances are magazines for that rifle or that pistol are good to go, and parts are good to go for that setup. So you might be able to have a really hard time coming across a 5.56 bolt carrier group, but you might be able to find a 7.62 by 39 bolt carrier group. So these are definitely things to look at, and in my opinion, that would be a rifle I would really, really look at right now, because it would be something that you could actually shoot and actually practice with and maybe get a little bit of a surplus amount of ammunition going. So that is definitely an option. Is ammo tough to find right now? Are you guys waiting on a shipment? Literally, I've heard that so many times in a week, I can't even begin to tell you guys. I tell all friends to buy, not build. I just got done building Brownell's Faxon 6 ARC. Luckily, I was able to buy 500 rounds of Hornady Black pre-order and came in last Friday. Hey, Sean, that's not bad at all, man. My store still has 5.56 ammo. It's been over a week. It's plentiful as of right now. Go to Dick's and try to find gym equipment today. Same with ammo, crazy prices if they exist. Yeah, I mean, pretty much everything is hard to find. Personally, with me, I don't shop at Dick's Sporting Goods anymore. That's just, you could make the argument with how many companies decide to be anti-2A. You could almost not avoid all of them with how ridiculous it is. But Dick's Sporting Goods was so blatantly in your face anti-gun and supporting anti-gun lobbyists that I made the decision once they did that to never buy a single thing from them again. That's just me. That's just how I roll. I get it. I got nothing against anybody that still shops there. But the reality of it is Dick's probably has issues with pricing as far as just overall their business model and business decisions, let alone on top of how difficult it is to find everything nowadays. So it is crazy right now in the world today with availability of everything. I get this question a lot as well, and I want to try to touch on this with just kind of skimming the politics just a little bit here. You guys know, if you don't already, I dig into the politics deep over on my Instagram channel or my Instagram account. We do weekly live streams over on the Instagram account. Missed last week's live stream. Sorry about that, but we're gonna make up for it. So I do more political live streams over there. If you really want to hear my thoughts on it and everything like that, head over there. Way smaller of a following, so I can kind of afford to do that, because I kind of grown to pretty much know all my good, awesome Instagram followers over there, and I know kind of what they are interested in, what they want to know, and I know they want to hear some of that. Whereas here on YouTube, much broader audience. I don't know what a lot of you guys want to hear. I don't know if you want to hear politics or my thoughts on politics or whatever else, so that's why I kind of skim over it and stick to what you guys know, which is the gun stuff. Yeah, so Rockford, yeah, same here, man. So yeah, a lot of people are asking me when it comes to should you buy your first AR right now, if you should wait. If you should wait till after the election. And there's two schools of thought with this, and I'm hearing this quite a bit, and I will touch on my thoughts on that after I tell you guys what I'm hearing, the one and two things. Either people want to wait till after the election, and I get the thought process here. I understand it. But they're like, hey, I don't have the money right now, so I'm going to have to wait. And I will be buying a gun in a couple of weeks or a couple of months or the month of the election, right? Should I just wait till after? Because if Trump were to get in, are the prices going to drop again on gun stuff? Will there be another quote unquote Trump slump when it comes to prices and availability of ammunition, accessories, guns, whatever else? I would advise no. Do not do this. Do not wait, because chances are that prices and availability will continue to rise due to the fact that this is not just panic buying. So, unfortunately, the backlogs with all this stuff is so great, so high, that I think the election is one of many things going on in this perfect storm of suck that is 2020. So I understand the point. I understand the logic of wanting to wait until after the election in hopes that the prices will come down. But the advice that I would give you is you've waited until now. Have the prices gone down? You could have bought them a year ago. You didn't. I get it. No harm, no foul. Things came up, whatever else. But you've seen how prices have gone up so dramatically. I would not count on them just dropping immediately the day after the election if you think it goes in the way of guns as far as being a positive. Could that happen? Yes, absolutely. But it could also not happen and go the opposite. Manufacturers could be so backed up by that point that the backlogs take a year, 2 years to fully get back into action. The downfall with this industry is it literally fuels off of politics when it comes to pricing and availability. So yes, that could potentially happen, but on the opposite end of the coin, another situation could happen where all of a sudden now the news is calling for bans and everything else like that, and panic buying just fires up once again, no matter who gets into the political office. And then obviously I don't even have to mention if the opposite end of that spectrum, if Biden gets in, and I would advise you heavily to go to Biden's campaign website and look at his stop gun violence policies that he wants to put through, which is basically you're going to have to scroll for a good 30 seconds to get down the entire page. But it is not going to be good. And needless to say, panic buying prices are going to go through the roof if that happens. So you're really taking a risky bet in waiting that long. Obviously, this also goes, needless to say, prices are going to continue to rise at least until the election comes up. So that's a big deal. If you are looking to buy your first AR and you're looking to wait, I would not advise this. Don't do this. Put something on layaway so that way you can at least solidify that firearm at that price point, and you don't have to worry about pricing going up or availability going down or whatever else, because you have 30 to 60 days to buy that gun. A lot of the time, this is the other question that I get when it comes to the election, whatever else, is people will come to me and they'll say, hey, I want to buy my first AR. I know the election's coming up, and I know it could potentially go in the way of Biden. I know it's very anti-gun, and I know these guns could get banned. A lot of these people, they're not necessarily saying they're for either political party. They're not necessarily saying anything political. What their response is, look, I know these could get banned. Should I wait to buy it so that way I don't buy it and have to then give it up? Or buy it and then have to deal with it getting banned? Or buy it and now have this illegal gun that I don't know what to deal with? Here's my response to that always, okay? Here's my response to that always. Guys, if that's your worry, you shouldn't be buying any gun, because the reality of it is if this goes the wrong way, as usual, pretty much anything you could potentially buy right now is going to be affected by that, and we're going to be having a much different conversation in the way of how to figure this thing out. And that would be the last thing on my mind. Is it a valid concern? Yes, I get it. I understand if you're not in this industry and you don't understand where this stuff goes, but here's a little wake-up call. If it were to go that way, it is by no means just ARs that are going to be touched by some sort of federal legislation. It would basically be everything. And again, I refer you back to Joe Biden's campaign website under the section on gun violence. I would urge you to read through that in its entirety and see how ridiculous it truly is. Unconstitutional does not even begin to cover what that garbage piece of information is on that website. It is incredible. It is incredible how bad it really is. So go check it out. Look at that and whatever else. And then kind of understand that if you are worried about that, you know, there is nothing that you could be potentially buying right now that in the future could not be affected by firearms legislation, which is why we say all the time to fight firearms legislation tooth and nail every step of the way and everything like that. So that is kind of like the last point I wanted to answer to a lot of these folks that keep asking me that question is, I get it, I understand, but you know, that is, you know, that it's kind of a hard question to answer, I guess. It's weird. I was able to get a job in the firearms industry in a tough time. Yeah, I mean, it can happen. To be honest with you, a lot of shops right now really need the help. A lot of shops really need the help. So a lot of people are actually being asked to come in and asked to get a job and everything like that. You know, so, you know, it's a very interesting time. But guys, I want to, since we have about 20 minutes here, I don't think we're going to last the 20 minutes, potentially. I don't know. I want to open the floor up to questions for you guys. Any questions at all for me, feel free to throw them down in the live chat there, and I will answer them and give you an idea on my thoughts. If you don't have any questions, don't worry about it. We'll wrap the live stream up, you know. I will let you guys choose when we end this live stream today. How about that? We'll see. And also, moving forward, we will have a video dropping hopefully today or tomorrow about the HRT rack plate carrier, the HRT tactical rack plate carrier. I've been sitting on a video on that for a while, so hopefully we'll be able to get that up either tomorrow or Tuesday. And that will be a first impressions video. I also have a bunch of AK projects in the works right now, coming hopefully very, very soon. We will see. Hopefully we can get those videos out in the next couple of weeks. If you guys want updates on those videos moving forward, a lot of the behind the scenes updates on when videos are coming, even upload schedules on videos, will actually be on my Subscribestar account. So I'm going to post thumbnails on the next 4 to 5, maybe even 6 videos that are going to be dropping for something that you guys, you know, are going to be able to see beforehand. I generally make thumbnails before I make those videos, so I'll be able to show you guys that, and you can kind of like plan out when you're going to be able to see those things. Maybe there's something that you really wanted to see first. You could let me know on the Subscribestar and everything else like that. Let's go to 8 p.m. PST. I've been considering another upper in different caliber for my AR. Would you recommend that I buy a different rifle entirely? Man, what is 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time? What does that equate to in Eastern Standard Time? I never know. I'm so bad with time zones. Hold on, Casey, I'll answer your other question first, because honestly, I have no idea how to translate Eastern Standard Time into Pacific Standard Time. Is it Pacific Standard Time? I think that's the word, right? I'm so illiterate. Okay, so let's touch on your other question. I've been considering another upper in a different caliber for my AR. Would you recommend that I buy a different rifle entirely? Not necessarily. No, it depends on the caliber that you're going for. If it's a caliber that can still use standard AR mags, you know, your lower is gonna be good to go. Chances are you'll need to buy a new upper with a new bolt carrier group, but you do not need to buy a new lower. However, this can be a big benefit of having a bunch of lowers stashed around, because ultimately, if you want to go to a new caliber, then that will allow you to just build out your lower. If you build out your lower, you're going to be good to go, and you're not going to have any issues. So stashing a couple lowers aside, that's a pretty good deal. But honestly, if you're just looking to have a quick caliber swap, buying the complete upper is also a good way to go. It can save you a lot of money. You don't have to buy the complete rifle. And you also don't have to go to a gun store to pick it up because you can just buy the upper complete and get it sent right to your house and you're good to go. So it's really, I guess, situationally dependent, and it also depends on the caliber that you're going for. But it could really go one of the two ways, and either way wouldn't be necessarily bad. Hopefully that answered your question. It's Pacific Standard Time. EST would be 11 p.m. for 8 p.m., 3 hours different. Oh, man, I don't know if I could go till 11. Have you gotten a number of people wanting to horse trade guns at the store? Yes and no. Surprisingly, not a lot of people are wanting to trade right now. My guess is because a lot of people are probably more interested in selling privately and trying to get buku dollars for their guns. And on the opposite end of that, I think a lot of people are just holding on to what they have right now, at least in my area. I'm seeing a lot of people not wanting to sell. They're like, hey, I'm going to hold on to this because I don't know what the hell is going to happen. A lot of people don't have that many guns. So say somebody has 4 or 5 guns. A year ago, they might have sold that 4th gun thinking, I'll get another one in a couple of months. They're super cheap, whatever. I need to pay this bill. Now, they have 4 guns and are like, holy hell, I only have 4 guns. I need to get some more because it's about to get real bad. So I think it's kind of one of those two things, but this is also situationally dependent, or I should say area dependent, with how people are acting. Been wanting to buy some plates, but been hearing it's a couple of months of a waiting period. Rockford, it depends on who you go with. I don't know if this is for sure because I have not ordered from them before, but I've heard good things about RMA Armor as far as having a consistent lead time of 2 to 3 weeks. I don't know if it's still the same. Chances are you're going to be waiting regardless for armor at the moment. Man, I got hiccups. Uh-oh. Chances are you're going to be waiting a couple of weeks for armor. Is it good? Is it bad? I don't know. If you're willing to spend a lot of money, you might be able to find like some Hesco plates or something like that that will ship relatively fast. I don't necessarily know. I can tell you for affordable ceramic armor, you're looking at Bowtac. Horror stories, not looking good from Bowtac. People are waiting like 9 or 10 weeks to buy them, and by Bowtac, I mean the Battle Steel ceramic level 4 plates. I have a pair of those. They're really good, but they're taking a long time. LA Police Gear, constantly out of stock. Don't know what the wait period is looking like when they come in stock, but LA Police Gear has a somewhat similar pricing scale for the Bowtac Battle Steel, and then RMA Armor. Those would be the 3 that look relatively good. I'm not a huge fan of steel armor myself. I would rather have like poly plates or ceramic or something like that. So, it is what it is. But a lot of places, have a good amount of wait time coming behind them. So crazy times, guys. I think that's the last of the questions. So we're probably going to wrap it up now, about 10 minutes short. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Those of you guys that are watching right now, I want you guys to know that you truly give me the motivation to continue with this channel and to continue going in the direction that I'm going in. I can't tell you guys, I'm not trying to cry, oh, woe is me, whatever else like that. I'm not trying to do that. But I can't tell you guys how difficult and frustrating it gets to put a lot of work, a lot of time into videos and just see, the viewers drop, subscribers drop, everything drop, and to not really know if it's you, if it's the content, if it's YouTube suppressing you. It just truly kills the motivation. Now, don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not changing what I'm doing. I'm not making videos or anything like that. It just kills the motivation. It kills the drive to want to keep moving forward because you feel like every time you get a step forward, you get knocked 10 steps back. So I want to thank you guys because you constantly are a reminder of me to continue to crank out these videos and everything like that. You guys watching these live streams really helps me out. mainly because it helps me know that you guys are still there. You guys are still there, you still watch, and you still want to check it out. Even if there is one person watching, it is awesome, and I thank you so much. It's a lot easier to move forward. If I didn't have this, it would truly look like nobody is watching the videos, and would make it look like there's not really a point when there's nobody watching anymore. So by doing these live streams, it helps me out greatly, and I thank you guys so much. I know we're just in a little bit of a low period right now when it comes to YouTube and gun stuff as a whole, so that really helps me out, and I really appreciate that. And hopefully we can end this nasty rut of YouTube censorship relatively soon. You guys know where to contact me other than that. And yeah, I've made a couple videos and I can barely watch them because they're so cringy. If you keep up the good work, you will reap some great rewards. Hey, Casey, thank you, man. I mean, it's not easy to make quality videos. Hope your channel picks up big time. Hey, I appreciate that, and it's not necessarily about growing and being big and everything like that. All I want is for the people that have taken the time and the want to actually hit that subscribe button on my channel, meaning they want to see the content that I produce. All I want is for them to be able to actually see that content. But I know that when I have 22,500 subscribers and only 100 of you see a video, something is not going right, and that is crappy beyond beyond everything. So hopefully that stops sometime soon. Harry, hey, thank you for watching, man. I really appreciate it. Guys, I'm going to let you go now. Thank you so much for spending this 50 minutes with me here on your Sunday afternoons. I really, really appreciate this. Go back, be with your families, hang out, and stay tuned for more great videos to come soon. Guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. Check out the description for all the links, and have a great night. Stay tuned for the next one. Thank you so much.